Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Pere Auger, the CEO of the Andorran project. Here on my side, I'm Enric, the founder of the brand Circles and the house Circles Barcelona. And then Pascal, also the founder of Portio and the person in charge of this technology and this tokenization project.
Yeah, Pera, maybe while we're waiting, you can just some things that we might not explain during the presentation, but why Andorra and the many advantages that offers Circles Andorra.
Okay, I like to say that it's like a mini Dubai in terms of arrival of entrepreneurs, projects, talent. It's a booming economy and a booming entrepreneurial ecosystem. So we've been following the last decade all this process that led us to the conclusion that the country needs a co-living like the one we are projecting. Because of the internal ecosystem that between Circles on the side of digital nomads and expats moving around the world, and then also the Andorran local ecosystem, it's a bit abandoned in terms of services. All these amazing entrepreneurs and talent, they don't have many places where to go to socialize in a casual way, to have fun. We have amazing recreational options, but not a specific one for entrepreneurs. So we have opportunities on the side of helping socializing people, giving an agenda of activities for the people visiting the house, for the local community, sharing time together. So that's a lot about what is the opportunity we'll talk about today.
Okay. Yeah, so just to add to that, Andorra offers not only fiscal opportunity, but it's a non-Schengen country in the middle of the European Union, which allows a lot of people from Asia and from Americas or Africa to not have to travel back to their countries to avoid visa problems. And this is another big plus to the co-living in Andorra that we're building together.
Okay, so let's begin. I will share with you the presentation. Okay, we'll explain this tokenization opportunity that is connected to the opportunity of the Circles Andorra co-living project. So what we'll be talking about today? Well, first of all, Circles has a fascinating history. So at the beginning of this, Enric and his wife, Natalia, they began with this concept and this brand with a lot of success in Barcelona with a beautiful house on the top of the hill with 360 degrees view over Barcelona and surroundings. We'll explain you in detail this new project. We are under construction in this moment, which is the Circles Andorra house, the first internationalization of the Circles brand. And then we'll enter into the tokenization details, how it works, this investment model. We'll explain you the benefits you get to invest through the tokenization system. And then we'll have good time to answer your questions. So feel free to ask in the Q&A box. Okay, so let's begin.
Yes, so basically, Circles House starts because of a personal need. After having been a digital nomad for many years before when the concept didn't exist. But basically, as a nomad, as an entrepreneur, what you used to have is hotels or apartments, sometimes a very solitary experience. And when living in Silicon Valley, after selling one of my startups, I experienced what was to live in a hacker house with other entrepreneurs. And the amount of value that you get from such place and the amount of value that you share with the community, that what they give to you, what you give to them, it makes it exceptionally special. It's like magic happening. A lot of relations happen from that, business relations. And we decided that it's not fair that this only happens in Silicon Valley, that we want it to happen around the world. We started in Barcelona, this first building, which we opened 3 years ago as a pilot, which is working very well. We always have a waiting list. And now it's time to do the next step, a much bigger building in Andorra, to follow this concept, like a place for this global community of entrepreneurs and creators, that they can have an instant community within a curated network. And it's just designed to make the best of you professionally and personally. We planned the seed of activities that will be happening in the house, but they start happening by their own. People organize things, and then we do sometimes organize a pitch day or an investors day or a lot of masterminds. Out of masterminds comes a lot of improvements on each one on their own project, and it becomes really nice to be there. So this is why we believe that growing with tokenization makes a lot of sense, because the community can invest in what they're using and can get perks from this investment. We'll talk about the perks later, and it all makes a lot of sense. Instead of buying yourself a flat somewhere that you're going to use very little times, you start participating on these tokenization projects, and you get a yield there, and you can also use it in your advantage. And that's where it comes all this sense of this project of tokenization.
Well, Enric, thank you for this great explanation. I'll continue explaining how we got to Andorra altogether. I have this little video of the house. This is how it looks, this amazing project. We'll share with you more on the platform. As we say to the first to arrive, Andorra, it's an amazing emerging entrepreneurial hub the last decade. First of all, because of the great taxation ecosystem, but then also for the amazing security and the great life conditions we have in Andorra, an avalanche of entrepreneurs from Spain and France mainly, but also from all over the world. Really, there's a very international community with amazing talents and amazing profile at this moment in the country. So as I was saying, I like to say it's like a mini Dubai in terms of the ecosystem and what's happening in the entrepreneurial hub. And then, well, it's a very touristic country, okay? We have, even its size, we have more than 8 million visitors every year. Lots of people comes for the ski. We have some of the best ski resorts in Europe. So we have an amazing ski experience, but also the tourism is for all the year, okay? So all the weekends, there's a lot of people. And the summer, it's also amazing how many people they come for the nature, for the walks, for the shopping, for the wellness. So there's a lot happening in this country beside the entrepreneurial ecosystem. Even this entrepreneurial ecosystem arrives a lot of events, and we have a lot of famous entrepreneurs from France and Spain that point the attention of these countries to Andorra. Then, because of our experience advising the expats arriving to, we've found the need to create adapted to what's happening to Andorra. So Circles also was looking for a new destination after the success of its concept in Barcelona and its community. Okay, Circles has a very strong entrepreneurial, high-profile community. We found the opportunity to develop something that goes beyond the Circles today concept. It's a mix of the local ecosystem needs and the international digital nomads community, which Circles has become today in Europe a reference. Okay, so we have strong elements such as the Andorra destination, Circles, to make a coherent proposal for these high-profile entrepreneurs. And this is what is happening in this project. Okay, this house is oriented like a resort. In this project, we'll have a permanent and daily complete agenda of very diverse activity to serve these entrepreneurs with a lot of needs and adjacencies. And without the need of leaving the property, because we'll have all what you need to spend many days and focus on your work and even improve your performance thanks to all the biohacking services we have in the gym, and even a restaurant, a futuristic restaurant innovation that will help improve the health while the people enjoy of amazing food. So this is what we came after merging with Circles and the local entrepreneurs group. Okay, then just to give you some details about the location and the property. Okay, we're in the south of Andorra. We're just 15 minutes of the Andorra city center by driving. We'll give to our clients flexible mobility solutions, which will help to communicate a part of the public transport and the transfers that we'll have. Also, we are in the middle of the nature, as you could see in the video. We are in a kind of a ranch experience, which the immersion into the nature is amazing. So from the first moment you arrive, you are absorbed into nature, and with all this calm and all this inspiration you need for your work as an entrepreneur. Then we are 10 minutes to the Spanish border. We are in the south of Andorra, and very practical to get to many airports that connect you internationally. Okay, then the building is quite big. Okay, we pass from a more reasonable size house in Barcelona to a 3,500 square meters house in Andorra with 2.5 hectares of gardens. Okay, here we'll include a lot of things. We have from amazing terraces with panoramic views, an amphitheater, forest, lots of things. We'll have, and then the house will be the biggest co-living for entrepreneurs in Europe. Okay, we project around 83 bedrooms. In the first phase, we'll open with 35 bedrooms, which at the end will allow us to have 160 beds. Okay, we connect in this project with the Circles community, which is an extremely well considered community for entrepreneurs. I like to say that people, they are paying more to be in the top of the hill of in Barcelona than in the city center of Barcelona. That's for some reason. Okay, then in this evolution of the project, we don't have only a house in which the people can have amazing exchange experience and work with focus and inspiration. We go beyond with this project, and we create this resort experience, as I said before, beginning with these amazing, healthy, super innovative restaurants with the help of a chef, which is also partner of the project. I would like also to say that all the main parts in this project are partners, from the owner of the land, Circles, the local advisor, the builder, the financials. So everybody is involved. And then, well, also Circles curates the community very well. Not everybody enters there. That's what makes a very calm and high quality experience, what you get from the people. And then through the agenda of activities we plan to do in the house, will give the easiest and more valuable lifestyle for these people, because it's people that they work a lot. We have a big co-working for them, which is the center of the house, but it is a community that they like to access easily to good plans with this community. And this is what will give them through an agenda and a program of add-on services. Okay, such as the place and the community, be able to spend 1 hour in the co-working, go to the gym, have a coffee, have a lunch, use one meeting room, and then leave and continue their day in Andorra. And also be part or be able to use all the activities we propose together with the digital nomad community and expat community arriving to Andorra. They will be sleeping in the center, which will create a very valuable exchange. So I like to say an itinerary community with a permanent local and good representation of the Andorran entrepreneurial ecosystem for the visitors to the house. So this is something that is innovative. It's not happening at this level today in the co-living world. Neither this resort experience is happening in the co-living for entrepreneurs world. And then we have two more elements getting introduced, which are the activities for groups as a not potential client. Okay, so it's a house with all the polyvalent rooms that we have and all the agenda activities we have and all the places we have. It's more attractive for groups like universities, online academies, retreats, scientifics, artists. All these collectives, we already know that they are more interested in doing their group activities in a place like us, like ours, than what the existing offer today. Okay, and then the last value layer that we add to this project that connects with what I say before, this day activity for the local community. So if there's local entrepreneurs that they would like to use the house as someone that is living there, but they already have the place to sleep in Andorra, they would be able to join an exclusive social club in which enjoy of the house, the agenda of activities, and everything next to the community. Okay, so as you see, it's a project full of innovations in in the world of the Coliving. And that's in very few words because there's a lot more to say about this project. So I think I will pass to Pascal to continue talking, explaining all the tokenization side. Thank you, Pascal.
Yeah, thank you, Peter, for handing over. And also thanks everyone for joining the webinar from my side. So my name is Pascal de Keyser. I'm the founder and CEO of Portio. And like Enric mentioned already in the very beginning in the introduction, we are with Portio, we are pretty much focused on this niche type of real estate being co-living, shared living. And why are we so much focused on this? Because for us, we see co-living, shared living as at least part of the solution for affordable housing. And affordable housing is a problem that is, I would say, it's a challenge that is hitting the different demographics globally. In Europe, in the US, in Asia, in the Middle East, wherever you go, there is always the same problem with affordable housing and community, and to a later extent, even loneliness. Yeah. So that's why we as a team, we are pretty much focused on trying to at least bring part of the solution, create an impact. And so that's, let's say, what is driving us. And that's where we are positioning ourselves as Portio in this tokenization area, as very focused on this specific type of real estate. Where we are adding blockchain to the opportunity is that, as mentioned before, we want to give the users, the tenants, the digital nomads, the flex workers, whoever is using the asset, whoever is using the property, the project, we want to give them a sense of ownership, and we want to give them a pathway to move from renter to co-owner. We call it a rent-to-own system, and that's where tokenization can be very helpful and can be very instrumental to achieve this goal. A little bit of background on the company. The company was legally started in 23. The idea obviously already originated earlier, but we started legally from out of Belgium with the very early support from both Coliving Ventures and Startup Bootcamp, who were very helpful in, I would say, shaping the first idea and bringing it to a first stage during 23-24. What was really important this year was the fact that we were able to, I would say, acquire a first partner investor, an anchor investor, who is actually investing into the approach as a company, but also in our asset pipeline. Yeah? So we have there now the opportunity to really speed up the investments in a certain list of assets we already selected. And this investment somehow materialized during this summer, and this will allow us to move forward, I would say, in a quicker speed. And what is, let's say, what we have on the planning now for the next 3 to 6 months is we are actually preparing a next seed investment with a, I would say, a more Web3 focused party. We will be announcing more details about this in a later stage. I would say within the next 2 to 3 weeks, there will be further announcement on this. It's a very important step for us because it's, I would say, it will allow us also to accelerate the Web3 and tokenization fundamentals of our company. So I'm pretty excited about this as well. And it will also allow us to really implement this rent-to-own system, this rent-to-own model we envision by basically tokenizing part of the company and part of the assets we have, and make that available in a liquid way to the people who are using it. Yeah? So that's at the end of the day, that's the model we are now implementing, I would say, fast forward. And to support this whole movement, we are launching also our loyalty offering towards operators. It's a loyalty offering under the brand of Portio Club that is basically rewarding people with either reduced investment opportunities, I would say cheaper investment opportunities, or additional perks by collecting points and in exchange for, I would say, retention exchange for extended stays. When diving into tokenization, I will avoid going really into the nitty-gritty technical details, but at the end of the day, what is tokenization for real estate? It is basically translating the ownership of a physical building into a digital token, into a digital, I would say, you can almost compare it with the share. It's just the difference with the share is that it's traded, it's represented with a token, which is traded on the blockchain, which is a public ledger, which is a public database. It's nothing more, but nothing less than this. Yeah. So it's representing physical assets to converting them from physical to digital tokens. Why is it important? Why is blockchain important? Because it allows to split a larger asset into very small fractions, and as such, somehow allow a much larger public to get involved with the opportunity, to be part of the opportunity, to invest from a very low entry level. So basically what you can do is you can fractionize, you can split a larger asset into smaller chips, into smaller tokens, and make them available for trading and for buying, selling on the blockchain. And another important advantage of blockchain technology as such is its transparency in terms of ownership and security and speed. Things happen, I would say, in a second, 24/7, which is a different way of looking into financial transactions compared with the existing, more classic trading platforms which are available today. Everything which is in tokenization, when you talk to people in tokenization, probably the first question that pops up is, how does it look like from the legal point of view? And that is obviously a very important topic to cover. And that's where we, as a company, spent quite some time and resources and money to build a structure that is really sustainable on the longer term. It's something I personally got involved in very heavily as well the last 12 to 18 months. And how we are structuring tokenization in our way is basically we are operating from our Luxembourg. So we have set up a legal entity in Luxembourg, which is doing the token issuance in a very compliant way. The tokens are falling under the EU MiFID-2 rules, which are the rules who are governing the issues of securities. So we are compliant and operating under a very robust legal framework from the EU, and I would say even enhanced by the blockchain governance and the rules which are governing the ecosystem in Luxembourg. We chose Luxembourg for several reasons, but one of the reasons why we chose them as a jurisdiction was because of their progressive attitude towards tokenization. They are more advanced than other regions in Europe, and at this stage we didn't want to go exotic when it comes to jurisdictions. So we kept it within the EU, but then we chose for Luxembourg, and I think Luxembourg is a safe haven for us to operate in, because it's known with investors. It enhances a certain level of credibility towards investors, and I would say that's also some of the reasons why we are operating now from our entity in Luxembourg. When it comes to what are the advantages of tokenization, I think at the end of the day, first of all, it's opening an opportunity to a much larger number of people. So lowering the entry levels, making it much more accessible for a much larger group of people who can potentially access the opportunity. It's, I think, a very fundamental advantage. It's, as I mentioned, this transparency and I would say security when it comes to blockchain. We are using, in our case, we are using Ethereum as a chain, which is, I would say, one of the most native chains, who is already operating over 10 years, very robust, and is still, I would say, the predominant chain used for everything which is much more financially linked when it comes to blockchain. The third thing is the speed and the cost of transactions. They are on a much lower level than traditional systems are. In the beginning, at the early days, the fees linked with Ethereum were relatively high, but in the meantime, this changed in such a way that this is now became very competitive. So yeah, these are I would say the 3 to 4 really main advantages why tokenization, why using blockchain as a technology is really helpful and instrumental in what we want to do. And at the end of the day, what do we want to do? We want to somehow support the co-living industry by providing alternative funding, alternative ways of funding in a one way towards operators or developers, and to offer also the opportunity to make it inclusive for the people who are using, for the digital nomads, the flex workers, whoever is using and traveling and having this work, travel, lifestyle balance. I think fractional ownership, having a piece of the property you are living in, is something very compelling, but you have to make it accessible very easily, and that there's also a learning curve we went through as a company together with, I would say, the whole industry. But in the meantime, I think we are getting to a situation where we will be able to really make things very, from a user interface and from a user experience, very fluid. And these are really exciting topics and improvements we will be able to, I would say, showcase also within the next 3 to 6 months. Hopefully, also with the proceeds, part of the proceeds we will have from the seed funding round.
So thank you, Pascal, with this amazing introduction. Enric will talk us about the perks and the benefits in the lifestyle, as already introduced a bit Pascal.
So basically, it's what we were
Thank you,
saying
Enric.
conceptually in the beginning. It's the fact of you investing in your lifestyle has a lot of synergies, and we want to add even more synergies to that. And we want to boost this with additional perks, where you as an investor are getting some free stays, some lifestyle rewards there. But again, the real reason for investing is the yield that this will generate to you. And if you keep investing the same amount that you would be investing in a flat, for example, in different tokenized projects that you're using, the idea is at the end you are obtaining the rewards equivalent to what would be the cost of living in your flat, no? Because you are able to finance this lifestyle of living. People can look at this from this point of view, the community I'm referring more to. And for the rest of the investors, we are really, really happy to welcome them and come and visit our buildings, our places, and enjoy the magic that's happening there. For that, we've put these perks forward, which is basically if you invest 5,000 euros, you get 1 week free stay. If you invest between 5,000 euros and 10,000 euros, you get 2 weeks free stay. If you invest more than 10,000 euros, you get 1 month of free stay. This is through the opening. But then also for the first 3 years, you will be able to extend your stay at half the cost. You will have, for all these people that are from Andorra, you will have complimentary co-working and club access, which is good because we want to have this mixture of the international community with the Andorran community. You have a free membership, which includes, having access to events that happen in the Circles House and the Entrepreneurs Hub, which is some groups in social media that help each other in terms of entrepreneur stuff. And free access to creative events, as I said, in Andorra and Barcelona, and the new houses we open, and exclusive invites to the Circles private house events. Basically, this is the main point. I don't know if you want Pascal to explain about the early bird pricing.
Yeah. So to get started, we try to make things also relatively easy, even if investing tokenized is I would say, for a lot of people, what we want to do is at least lower the entry burdens from the use of the type of how people can invest. So at this stage, this is the first stage. This is a pre-sale phase we are entering, where we are raising a 250,000 euro. In this phase, everyone can invest without having the need to own crypto. So people can invest using euro. I would say the most common fiat currency used in our region. So there is no need today to own crypto already. So you can use your existing euro. It's just by doing a regular fund wire between banks. There is not much magic going on the level of wallets or more difficult tools at this stage. What is needed to do is basically registering on the platform. We do need to go through a very basic KYC AML process, which is basically saying we have to identify you, we have to know who you are, just to make sure that we are acting under the compliance of the MiFID regulations, because this is, at the end of the day, it is security. So it is linked with people, it's linked with identity. It's not a permissionless or, let's say, a type of asset which can be traded without knowing who is actually trading. So there is a small process on that, but that takes you roughly 1.5 minutes. It's very quick. It's just showing you your face and your ID card. You get your account verified, and then it's connecting, and then it's basically investing to the platform by just doing a a transfer. And what happens then is that the funds come in. They come in at a dedicated account, which is not managed by ourselves. It's managed by a third party. So, and the funds are converted into tokens, which will be allocated to your personal wallet. That's the moment where a wallet comes in place. You need a wallet like MetaMask or Trust Wallet or whatever type of wallet you want to use. You need a wallet because the tokens are immediately transferred from the smart contract to your wallet. So again, I want to make that clear. We are not managing or owning any funds. We are not owning your funds in terms of fiat to invest because it's basically locked at an account which is administered by a third party. And the tokens you get in exchange for the money, they go immediately to your own personal wallet. So it's your own responsibility, and it's also your own privilege to manage it the way you want to do it. And so from that angle, we are operating as a enabler, not as a bank, obviously, where we are managing people's funds. So I think I wanted to make this clear because that's obviously also a question which is popping up quite often. So what we are doing is self-custody, it's called. It's basically saying that the responsibility and the possibilities of how to work with funds is managed by the investor themselves. I think when it comes to how to get involved, how we can break it down, it's registering, it's doing the small identification process, and then at the start now doing just a regular wire transfer to the dedicated bank account, and then tokens will be put on your wallet, and things will start yielding as soon as, say, 1 month after the closing of this investment round.
Okay, Pascal, thank you very much for giving these explanations. Now we'll pass to the Q&A. Okay, so, well, there are some questions that are popped up during the presentation. So we have Stephen, he's saying, is Portio open for a second jurisdiction? I don't know if I got to understand this question. It's clear for you, Pascal?
Yeah, I know the question because it's something that we are asked for already many times. At this stage where we are, we invested quite a lot of time and energy in getting things right from out of Luxembourg, and we feel comfortable in operating from out of Luxembourg for the next stages. We are always looking at other regions, and to some extent, because the assets we are talking about, the project we are talking about, are located at this stage mainly in Europe and potentially in the UAE, we have no short-term plans to open additional branches in other jurisdictions. It's all about operational focus because opening new jurisdictions enhances also additional costs, additional complexity. So for the next, I would say, 12 to 24 months, it will be Luxembourg and Luxembourg only when it comes to token issuance.
Okay, then we have another question from Evaristo asking, where and how do I sell the tokens once I want my equity back?
So the tokens will have at the beginning, they will have a initial lockup period because we want to avoid volatility and fluctuations on the very short term. I think that's a typical thing done in the space. So there will be a minimum lockup of 6 months. And then the tokens can be traded on our marketplace. Yeah, so we have a marketplace where we are bringing people together who wants to buy and who wants to sell. So there is already a marketplace technically available, and there is the possibility to start trading your tokens relatively short after buying them. Honestly, I think real estate is a invest asset with, I would say, stable, predictable profits, but you need to give it also time to generate profit. So that's why I think you need to look at these opportunities on a midterm perspective. This is not crypto. This is not meme coins. This is real estate. It means that the yields, the profits are more moderate, but they are stable. They are growing stably, and they are also predictable. So to make the most out of your investment, I think it is wise to look at it also from that angle and to look at it from a passive income type of investment rather than betting on very high fluctuations on the short term, because this will not happen, because at the end of the day, what is representing the tokens are bricks. It's real estate.
Exactly. I think it's a very good point, Pascal, because people is investing basically on our project, which is a co-living. Even if the business plan is very good and we can begin to pay the maximum return in a short time, probably it will take a couple of years to get to this maximum return. Okay, so you will see on the platform, in Portio platform, all the details about the economic details and the proposal. But basically, we are offering a minimum guaranteed of 5%, which is, I think, very interesting for a startup. We can give that because of we are based on real estate, and we have an amazing contract lease for the rent of the building to 50 years, and at a 10 years escalation, very progressive, giving us under market on the income that it's only a 6% of our income average, the cost of the rent. So, this allows us to make phases to the project. That's why we can begin not the full occupancy of the house. We open 35 bedrooms in this first phase. And as you were saying, we need some time to get to the maximum return. Okay, we from around the second, third year, we'll be getting to this 15%. You have also on the platform all the legal information and other documents that Portio provides to give you all the details about the deal that is proposed. But basically, what you will see in the numbers is that we can give easily this 15%. Meanwhile, the project is stabilized, okay? Because in our business plan, we give not a too ambitious promise, okay? The ambitious business plan is not shown, but we've been calculating many of the layers of services are not appearing or not developed even to the 50% of its potential in this business plan. Okay, so it's mostly based in a operation of restaurant, the house stabilized at a 77% of the occupation. And even in this scenario, we pay easily this 15% after this first period of stabilizing the project. Okay, so I encourage you to check the numbers because it's an amazing project. It gives amazing numbers. I think, Pascal, we can also offer one-to-one meetings. People can request.
Yes, I'm very always happy and available to accommodate calls. That's what we have been doing for the company. I'm really happy to also jump into separate calls for the specific project itself to explain more in detail the project, also maybe more in detail the mechanics about the tokens themselves. For sure, for a lot of people, it is still early days. It is still new. It is growing, but it is, on the other hand, the reality is that for a large chunk of people, it's just an introduction. And that's why we also at this stage want to allow the investment through just normal euro, just to at least, I would say, lower the entry burden from that angle. And I'm always happy myself or some other people from within the team, within Portio, just to take the time to explain the project as well, the platform, and I would say things from the legal point of view. If people have specific questions about that, we are in full transparency and we are always happy to answer these.
Great. We are getting to the end. It's a very short introduction. I used to, when I present this project, to spend much more time introducing elements of the co-living market, the MiC market, this events market, the social clubbing market. We are into different, touching different markets, growing very fast. And we are also touching the public of co-livings for entrepreneurs, which is also the category that grows bigger in the category of co-living. You will be able to find more details on the Portio platform. So please feel free to check it, to contact us, and get to discover an opportunity, because it's not only investing in a co-living proposal, is being part of a big innovation in amazing markets. So, I would like to give a special thanks to all you stayed till the end. Also, special thanks to Pascal and their team to organize this webinar. And also big thanks to Enric to join us and explain us. Thank you very much. We keep in touch. Contact us. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.